Welcome to this week's video and welcome September. There's something magic about the month of September and I feel like I don't want to rush nature. So while there is autumn decor popping up in all of my favourite shops and I absolutely love to see it, I feel like there's still a magic in September that's not to be rushed. I love that sunrise is a little bit later in the morning. So this week's sunrise is around 6:30, 6:40, and because it's been sunny, there's been like beautiful lighting and the sun is setting just after 8 o'clock. So there's still loads of light, and as someone who is not a fan of the dark winter evenings, I'm savouring the magic that September has before we really get into the cozy season. I'd love to know, what is your favourite thing about September? I feel like it's the march of spring. Things are just starting to kind of slow down. Just like March, things are starting to wake up. Let me know what your favorite thing about September is. So I'm just tackling a couple of jobs around the house. I used to do big quarterly speed cleans and sometimes I still do that. But what I'm trying to do now is little and often instead of burning myself out, because at the end of the day, the house always gets dirty. It's a never-ending cycle. So I do like to keep on top of things, and there is jobs like, cleaning the oven, which we'll do later, where I kind of do them more on like a quarterly basis. But I'm trying not to get too caught up and overwhelmed because, trying to keep on top of the household can be stressful. Even though we are heading into autumn, I'm changing up my bed sheets, but I didn't want to put on the big, heavy, chunky set. First of all, because it's really warm this week in Ireland. And I know for a lot of people watching, when you see all the autumn decor popping up, you can be like itching to throw on the plaid or heavy quilted duvets. But when you look outside the window and in nature, it's still quite warm and sunny, and it still might feel like summer. And I know for a lot of people watching, the temperatures are still quite warm in September. So you can almost feel like you're forcing autumn upon yourself. Does anybody else be like, right, I'm bringing this to the charity shop? And then they're like, oh, but actually, I kind of like it. So I have stuff that has gone into the spare bedroom and gathered dust. I have this lovely bar cart, which you would have seen me roll out. It's absolutely beautiful, but I don't have space for it in my living room because I have my stool that I made in my woodwork class, and I like that more. And I don't drink alcohol really at home. Oh, I drink it in the pub. But I'm not a house drinker, and I did, like a couple of years ago, I had this bar cart and I had it styled with, there was some like drinks on it, non-alcoholic ones and alcoholic ones, and they all went off, which shows how little I drink at home. And I think it's because I spend a lot of time working from home. So if someone is like, hey, want to have a drink? I'm like, anything to get out of the house. Even if friends call over, a cup of tea and we go somewhere, I'm not a social house drinker. Yeah, I just do it to go to the pub. So it's literally gathered dust. And then this basket, I actually bought this basket for €5 in B&Q. Look, there's a €5 tag. But my stairs are wonky, as in slightly off generic, whoever made them. Because I'm like a dormer bungalow, cottage. So I'm just gonna be like someone in the charity shop would absolutely love this. I was thinking you could keep it and use it for something, but that's what gets me into these cluttered situations. So I'm literally going to put them into my car, and I also have an iron. Hang on. Oh, I better actually take the water, or just a tiny bit of water of it. My iron gave up the ghost randomly, but I forgot, like, you have to recycle the electrics. So I have to go to the dump. I think it's free anyway. You can also bring them back to wherever you bought your new iron. They do like a drop off thing. It's free. But I'm gonna just drop it. I'll go to the charity shop first. Then I'll go to the recycle centre, and then I'll clean the house. But hands up if you two have these odd jobs in the house that just, I'm like, it's a new season. I wanna clear the clutter, get it out of the way. I'll give you actually a laugh. I don't know if any of my regular viewers see my Cricut videos. Sometimes I use a teeny tiny Cricut iron. It's tiny, it's like a craft iron. And I was ironing clothes when I was actually ironing bed sheets when this broke. And I was like, oh no. So I took out my mini iron and I tried to iron the pillowcases with that. And I was like, this is like a doll's house iron. Great for crafting, not so great for ironing your bed sheets. Anyway, I'm procrastinating. I'll be back when I drop this off. When I dropped in the bar cart to my local charity shop, one of the volunteers that was working there said, oh, my daughter only said to me this morning that she would love a little drinks cart. She's off to college and she wanted to have something, I don't know, for their apartment or wherever they're staying. And I was like, it made me just, I don't know, feel good. I'm passing it on. Maybe it will go to that daughter, maybe it won't. But it was just nice to know that something you're passing on is wanted by someone else. I don't know if it's the start of a new season that makes me want to have a good deep clean and a bit of a declutter, but I always feel lighter. And I don't know if it's, I'm reading the book The Artist's Way at the moment, so I may have seen the quote in this book, or I hear so many quotes, I just don't remember where I hear them from. But it was saying that you need to allow space for things to come in. So all of the clutter, for me anyway, makes me feel quite heavy. And when I give things away or pass things on, recycle them, my house and my environment, I just feel lighter. And some of my regular viewers will know that I did a bit of decorating in the living room because my living room was feeling really stagnant. It was giving me 2020 flashbacks of when we were all doing yoga in the living room and working from home. So if you see some of my earlier videos from back in spring, I did some wallpaper and did some paneling, and this is my favourite room. And I make a point to not do any laptop work in here anymore. I might edit the odd video, but I had gotten into the habit of doing work from the couch, and since I've come back from holidays, I've been good. I've been working in my office, and my living room is my relaxing space. So when I come in the evening, if I'm watching some Netflix or some TV, there's no laptops hanging around. The energy feels totally different. And because I cleared out some stuff, like I didn't bring back in the bar cart and things like that, I just feel much lighter, and it's easier to keep clean as well. My regular viewers might notice I have a new cleaning gadget. So the guys at Karcher, they did send this to me. Well, they asked me did I want to try anything, and I hate dragging around my mop and bucket, my old school mop and bucket. So when I saw there was a gadget that mopped the floors, I said, let me try that. This was actually my first time to use it, so I can't give you a proper in-depth review. But the main gist of it is that you're always getting fresh water cleaning the floor. So there's a water tank, and then there's a waste tank underneath the rollers. So the rollers spin around, mop the floor. You also put a little bit of detergent into the water bottle. So far the only downside is the waste water tank can fill up quickly. It's not too big. So I mopped 2 rooms and I needed to empty the tank, but it's really easy to empty the tank. The machine is also a hoover. Now, I would still hoover your floors before mopping with this machine, but if there's any, shout out to my long-haired girlies, if there's any bits of remaining hair or dust, it does actually suck it up. But the only downside is when you go to empty the waste tank down the sink, there's all those little bits that's after sucking up. So I'll chat a bit more about it in a future video when I've had a chance to use it a bit more. So far it's a thumbs up. There are a couple of downsides to it too. My oven. If you love a satisfying before and after cleaning, I hope this little section of the video does it for you. So your girl loves a few chicken nuggets in the oven, which is why it's filthy. So when it comes to cleaning the oven, I just use baking soda, water and vinegar and a scraper, and then just cloths and water to wash it all down. I find if you preheat the oven a little bit, like obviously not really hot because you're going to be cleaning in it, but I'll preheat the oven and that warms everything up a little bit. Then I'll sprinkle baking soda, spray the vinegar, you get that lovely fizz. I leave it for about 15 minutes. I actually just have a cup of tea. Then when I come back, I use the scraper just to gently lift off. Obviously you have to be careful with the scraper because you don't want to damage the enamel of the oven. But the scraper is great on glass as well. So if you have any baked in, stains, it will lift it off that glass. I gave up using harsh oven cleaners basically because it stripped the paint off my painted cabinets. So just a little heads up, if you painted your kitchen, that those oven cleaners will strip through anything. And I find baking soda and vinegar does enough and washing the inside. Like you'll see yourself from the before and after here that it has done a decent job. Also, this is totally random, but I have another cleaning hack. Well, thanks to the internet. So I bought a second-hand Barber jacket. So it's a wax jacket. So this is the outside of it. So it needs to be re-waxed. So a brand new one of these will be about like 250, 300. So I bought a second-hand one, but I didn't realise that Barber jackets can be musty, can stink. So I have ordered a pot of Barber wax, which is, I think it was 13 euros. So I'm going to re-wax it because you can see, I don't know if the person before it maybe washed it in the washing machine, because you can't actually wash them in the washing machine because it ruined. I'm sorry, my memory card ran out, so I had to come inside. What I was saying was, I had to go down the Google rabbit hole because apparently smelly Barber jackets is quite common. The reason why I actually wanted one was because they look cute. Very like country in the garden, aren't they? But yeah, I got a second-hand one because, fashion, recycle, what is it, refashion? Recycle, I don't know. But I didn't realise that, like, it doesn't smell like body odor. That's not what I'm smelling. I think it is the wax or lack of possible wax. So like I was tempted to put it into the washing machine and then re-wax it, but it says do not put it into the washing machine. So I don't know if I was to do that, would it crumple up into a ball? I do not know. So what I did was, a lot of people on the internet said, turn it inside out, spray it with water and vinegar. There's the option, a few people were saying, to sprinkle bicarbonate soda on it. We have a lovely sunny weather this week, so I'm leaving it outside because obviously UV kills like bacteria on fabric, I believe. So I'm after giving it 2 rounds where I drenched the lining. The lining is just cotton, so I've drenched the lining with water, vinegar and a teeny tiny bit of essential oil that I was hoping would kind of help with the smell. I can't smell the vinegar. The vinegar dissipates. It's like when you use water and vinegar. Dissipates, is that a word? Evaporates. I don't know. The vinegar will evaporate, obviously being outside as well. Some people said to just leave it outside for a couple of days to get rid of the smell. It still has a slight smell, but I'm hoping I'm going to give it another round, put it back outside, give it a couple of days in the sun, Some people also said to freeze it. My freezer is not big enough for a size 10 Barber jacket, but I'll keep you posted with the re-waxing of it. So hopefully I can bring this jacket back to life. You can send it off to a barber. I seen one Irish company that was charging €65 for a re-waxing and a re-jigging of your jacket. I don't know what it is if it's in the UK. The main reason why I wanted a barber jacket was actually because I saw a documentary on it where they went to the factory and they were explaining, like, they were showing the people making them, and all of the like, there was a person who like stitched the cuff, and like little things like the stitches on the outside, like, or whatever way they're stitched or something, it will stop the rain getting in. I don't know, but yeah, you can tell, see the kind of discoloration on the back. This is supposed to be khaki, so I have a feeling, I don't know if this is maybe machine washed already, but there's hardly any wax coating left on this. Not sure how old it is. Like, you can see the front has a bit more wax. So I don't know, what would you do? Would you chance throwing it in the washing machine and then re-wax it, or would you not? It strictly says do not put in the washing machine. So yeah, it's a shame. Apparently that's the thing with wax jackets. If you have any tips for how you keep your wax jacket, because obviously loads of other different brands. There's Dubray of Ireland, they have wax jackets. Holland and Cooper, all of the kind of countryside brands have wax jackets. So if you have any tips on how to keep it must free, they say to clean the outside, cold water and a brush, and you just brush off the dirt. But I'm like, what about my sweat? What about my sweat? Anyway, I thought I was doing a good thing with buying a second-hand one, but it's given me a challenge. I'll keep you posted on the re-waxing anyway. How rude am I? I forgot to end this video, so I'm going to do it now. Hope you enjoyed a bit of a slower pace. Let me know your September faves. Is there any jobs around the house that you want to tackle? If you are new, you are more than welcome. Say hello in the comment section. We have a lovely community over here. Introduce yourself. Let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to subscribe. Cheeky thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next video.